Welcome to Talk It Out with Marla P, where we dive into real, meaningful conversations with experts who are shaping the world. I'm your host, Marla Priester, and today we have a very special guest with us. Kristin Schmoke is a mother of four, a certified trauma-informed parent coach, and a teacher who is transforming how families connect and communicate. Kristin came to parent coaching after realizing that despite all of her knowledge, traditional parenting strategies just weren't working for her own child. Through some simple yet powerful shifts, she found a way to fully connect and strengthen her family relationships. Now she's on a mission to help families do the same. Welcome to the podcast.
Well, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, let's just dive right in, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. So, Kristin, you mentioned that you thought you knew everything there was to know about parenting before you hit a roadblock with your own child. Can you tell us more about what that moment was like for you and how it shifted your perspective?
100%. I mean, I think there's that old saying that everybody was a perfect parent before they had kids. So there's there was that. I was a teacher and I was one of those teachers who was given the quote unquote challenging students. And so I was really good. And
Mhm.
I kind of had that prideful, uh, you know, egotistical like way about me, like, no, I'm good at this. And
Mhm.
when my own child then resisted the ways that I was raising him, I was like, well, it's not my fault. I'm good at this. This is not me. But
Mhm.
really, I was trying to raise him in the way that one would as a teacher in a classroom, which is a very different way than a child at home. Classroom, you're looking for generalized control so that you can maximize learning, right?
Mhm.
That doesn't transfer to home life because at home life, you need connection. You need to create safety. You need to have these opportunities to learn and grow from each other. And I resisted that at all costs because it was certainly not my fault. It was my son's. And so when I shifted that, and I actually hear that very commonly from a lot of parents.
Mhm.
Like they take their child to therapy. There's nothing wrong with therapy, but they take their child to therapy in a mission to fix the child, but they don't ever go to therapy themselves. I am
That's true.
totally guilty of that. I took my kid to all sorts of doctors looking for diagnoses because this had to be something bigger than just me. But really, when it came down to once I started working on myself,
Mhm.
all of it changed. And so, yeah, there was a big moment. He was 16 and I like everything he did was wrong in my eyes or confrontational or a problem. And I really and something happened and I told him to get out. And I was like, "Oh, great. Great. I'm that parent. I just kicked my 16-year-old out of the house. Awesome." And he went to a friend's house for the night, which was fine, gave me time to calm down. But it was that moment that I realized how was I expecting my 16-year-old to change when I wasn't willing to?
That's a good point.
Yeah. And so I went for it. I started working on me and started changing. And the awesome thing is that it didn't take very long.
Oh,
It just it just required a little shift for me and an opportunity for him to feel seen. That's all he wanted from me.
oh. It's a little
But
self-reflection.
yeah, but I was
Yeah.
seeing him for who I thought he was or who I wanted him to be, but I
Mhm.
wasn't seeing him for who he was in that moment. And those are two very different things.
Wow. So you emphasize empathy and communication in your approach to parenting.
Mm.
Can you walk us through what that looks like in practice?
Yeah, absolutely. So communication's huge, right?
Mhm.
And I
Absolutely.
think I think so many of us don't know how to listen to our children because we were never listened to. We
Right.
were always told how to be, what to do, where to go, but nobody really asked our opinion. And when we offered our opinion, we were told to be quiet. And and because we don't know how it feels to be listened to. We don't know
Mhm.
how to listen to each other. All we do is listen to think we want to respond, right? We listen to respond, not listen to know or understand. And those are two different things.
Absolutely.
And And when that happens, we completely miss each other. It's like we're on separate highways, right? Or freeways or whatever you want to call it, wherever you live, separate roads. But when you can slow it down and listen to understand, you get to create that deeper connection. And so what that looks like is changing some of your dialogue, right? So
Absolutely.
if you go up to your child, instead of saying, "How was your day today?" your child's going to say, "Fine," right? That's the basis answer. But what if you asked them, like, "Tell me about your day. Tell me something that happened to you today. Tell me anything. Tell me that I'm here," and just sit and listen. And as they talk to you, repeat some of the things back to them that you're hearing.
Hmm.
And
Right.
saying, like, "Did I hear this right? You are really feeling frustrated today because of your French test? Okay, tell me more about that." And offering these little moments of connection of tell me more.
Hmm.
What did that feel like? Tell me, what did you do about that? Did you want to do something about it? Are you telling me so I can listen, or are you telling me because you want me to help you? Like asking these different things, and I think oftentimes we jump to conclusions as parents. And
Absolutely.
we jump to curiosity instead of, or we jump to judgment instead of curiosity. So if we lead with curiosity, we get a lot farther. And that then seeps into empathy because
Hmm.
I don't know how many of us actually know how to practice empathy because empathy is that moment where you're sitting and you're holding space for somebody else. You don't have to feel their feelings, but you
Right.
have to be present with them while they feel their feelings. And we've been taught to, that's a really uncomfortable place. Like feelings, we're not doing that. Like, okay, what can I do to fix it?
Right.
And me as the caregiver, I often offer opportunities to fix it, to make it go away. Do you want a hug? Do you want a glass of water? Oh, it'll be fine later. Like, just get over it. Those kind of things. But it doesn't ever actually offer our child the opportunity to feel fully seen and acknowledged that their feelings just are,
Hmm.
and it's okay. We
Right.
we don't have to do anything about it.
I love it. I love it. Wow. So, what do you think is the biggest misconception about gentle or compassionate parenting?
Oh, I mean, that's a whole podcast on its own. I, I think I don't like to use the term gentle parenting, mostly because I think there's a huge misconception. Um,
Yes.
People either think it's like a permissive parent, which is somebody who allows the child to lead and the child to make all of the decisions.
Hmm.
And honestly, that's really an unfortunate position to be in because it actually doesn't create safety for the child. The child's actually looking for the adult to lead, and they're looking for the child to make decisions because they themselves don't have a fully developed brain. And it
That's right.
feels really out of balance for both parent and child.
Hmm.
And then it can also swing to the other way where people are like, "Oh, well, gentle parenting is just kids get their way. That's what's wrong with America." And it's really not. I like to think of gentle parenting in as not trying to control the child too much, like I did when I started my parenting. That's called power over your child. And not permissive parenting, which is letting the child lead, but parenting with your child, which means you're having conversations with them. You're learning on you're gaining understanding. You're getting curious. You're looking for compromise. You're looking for negotiations because we want our children to have these skills. We want them to be able to talk to other people because they're going to
Right.
need to be able to advocate for themselves
That's
in
true.
in school with their teachers, in romantic relationships with a
Hmm.
boss in the future. All of these things are skill building. But if we come in and just answer for them, we actually steal that lesson from them. So if we build that opportunity to sit down and have conversations with them, I
Hmm.
always like to tell parents, use the line, convince me. So if your child comes to you and says, "I want to go to the mall on Saturday," and your initial response is no, try using the words convince me instead. Allows your child to gather their their case, right? Like they get to do their
Right.
if it's required. Maybe if
Hmm.
it, a lot of times it's about having a video game. Okay, well, do the research. Tell me why this is a good thing for you to have. Or you getting a phone. Why is this a good thing for you to have?
Hmm.
And then you get to hear, like, so they get to do a little research on it. And then they also get to present it to you and you get to hear their side. And it just creates an opportunity that where both sides feel seen. You don't have to say yes, but at
Hmm.
least now you have more understanding and you can have a different conversation.
That's a good point. I love that. I love that. And you said your son is 16?
Not anymore.
Oh, this is okay. I got you. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
he's 21 now, and my
21.
youngest is 13.
Okay, okay. Perfect. Oh my goodness. In today's world, parenting advice often comes from social media and trends like that on TikTok. How do you help parents stay grounded in their own family values instead of chasing the latest trend?
Oh, yeah. I help I help parents gain confidence in themselves that
Hmm.
they can lead their children to a really good place as adults that is connected, grounded, and confident, right? And it's
Hmm.
so easy to get wrapped up into these TikTok reels that are like, well, TikTok's gone now, but Instagram or wherever the latest trends are existing. And we forget that we actually have all the skills inside of us. And we get to lead from our core family values. And I always tell families pick 3 values and
Hmm.
stand on those and base your family around that. You're not going to get to everything. It's okay. But maybe your family value is connection. Okay. Well, then, like, set your life up around that. If connection
Right.
is important, you better be having a family game night once a week. You better be having family dinner. You better be doing something that creates that connection so that you can say that is our family value.
That is true. So with your approach with your son, I'm sure it caused some type of burnout, right?
Oh, big time.
So how did you handle that? Like,
I think my son was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease when he was young. And
okay.
so I think when that happens, whether your child's neurodivergent or autoimmune, or as a mom, you get really protective. You go into mama bear caretaker mode, like extraordinaire to the extreme.
Hmm.
And you don't even know you're burned out in that moment, right? You're just going. You are literally surviving. You have no
Hmm.
idea that you aren't getting the adequate sleep. You have no idea that you um, probably could skip a workout that day because you know, could use the sleep. I think so many of us, at least, my generation, we were not raised to ask for help.
Mm.
And I think it's really important that parents, one, get really clear on what it is you need. What is it you need that somebody, because you have a village, you have plenty of people that are willing to help you out. We need to ask for help. I lived in a situation where my parents lived in another state. We didn't have any support nearby. Um, I didn't realize how burned out I was until it was too late. And it was like, whoa, like I'm I'm gonna crack. And it's like, okay, so stop. Something has to change. And that's when I did. I yelled at my son and told him to get out. Thankfully it was only for one night. It was a big enough wake-up call for me. But I tell parents right now that you are giving away your power every single day by to the message of that your life is too busy to take care of you. Because if you aren't taking care of you, nobody's coming to save you.
That's true.
And you have to take care of you first before you can take care of your others because you can only give away as much love as you have for yourself. And your child's actually going to feel more loved when you take some time to yourself. Now, often parents rebuke that to me and they're like, I don't have time for that. And I'm like, well, change don't have time with won't. Like, you're telling me you won't make time for you. And that's a very different thing that I don't have time.
Right.
Because
Right.
I want you to remember that you have a choice. You get to choose every single
Mhm.
second of your day, and you have set your day up this way.
Right.
You get to choose it. But also, self-care doesn't have to look like a girls' night or a trip to Tahiti or even a massage, right? A weekend at the spa. It
Right.
gets to be free and you have it with you all the time. And people don't like it when I give this answer because I think they're looking for something bigger and magical and like a shiny unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
But pausing to breathe is so incredibly powerful. And they discredit it. And I go, oh, really? That's it? I'm like, no, but listen, if you actually stopped multiple times throughout your day
Right.
and took a couple breaths and reminded yourself, am I showing up as the person I want to be? You get to disrupt that subconscious pattern that you have gone into of just robotic like motions throughout your day.
Mm-hmm.
You are fueling your own stress by not pausing.
I like that.
But when you pause, you get to realign. You get to go, oh, wait, I have a choice in this. I am
Mm-hmm.
not subject to the things that are happening around me. I actually drive the things that are happening in my life. But
Right.
I didn't know that at the time when my son was 9. I didn't know that. Nobody taught that to me. I had to wait till I was 40.
And I would say for myself, I don't have any kids, but I just hear people say, parenting doesn't come with a handbook.
Doesn't. It doesn't. And I think a lot of the things that maybe our culture used to know kind of
Mm-hmm.
has been watered down or over the generations lost
Right.
because it was deemed unimportant and the hustle culture was really important. You got to get a job, you got to go to school so you can get that good job so you can, but really
Mm-hmm.
to what end? Like it's how important is that? What's really important is how you're showing up every minute so
That's
that you
right.
can then show up for your kids because you only get one shot at this.
That's it.
And every single second is a brand new second and a moment to start over.
That's so true.
So you get a clean slate every single second. And isn't that
Wow.
amazing that you get to choose to change that if you want?
That's right. Wow. And being a mom of four, um, was the parenting style different for each kid?
Oh, I think every kid's different.
Yes, absolutely.
For
For sure.
sure. They have different needs. I would say before I got into parent coaching, I used to label my kids. Oh, that's the challenging one. Oh, that's the easygoing one. Oh, that one's always kind. Oh, that one. Oh, that one, we're gonna have to keep an eye on him when he's a teen. Um, and I think when you label your kids that way, you expect them to be that way all the time. And you actually miss, and you not only do you miss their humanness, because nobody's always something. It's not possible. They're not always challenging. There's moments where they're actually totally compliant and totally loving and totally caring. And also, yeah, there's moments where they're also a pain in the butt. But when we label them in our
Hmm.
mind, we are only looking for that label every time and we completely dismiss all of those good moments. Or even if I label my child easygoing, I'm only looking for the easygoing moments. I completely
Hmm.
miss the moments where he's challenging, or when he is challenging, I rebuke them and I go, oh, you're my easygoing kid. You can't be that way. I'm
That's
denying him his humanness. And the
hmm
thing is, I get to have all of these emotions. I get to be all of these things based on who I am in this moment. And so, yeah, they all require different things. Some kids need a little bit more physical touch, whereas some prefer just to talk and some prefer a little bit more personal space. And that's
hmm
okay. It's a really
hmm
beautiful thing because none of us are the same.
That's right. That's right. And again, like I said, I just hearing different stories from different people that I met along the way. I think they try to parent each kid alike, the same way, and that can be a problem.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, sit down and build that relationship with a child, and it's just like managing someone, a team of people. I can't manage everybody the same way. Everybody's different.
for sure. And I think it takes away that element of the child feeling seen. If you're like,
Yes.
we all fit in this box and this
Yep.
is who we are. I've
Hmm.
had past students tell me, oh, my family's very athletic, but I'm not. And I was like, oh, tell me more about that. And she said, well, I don't fit in with my family. Like they all go do sporty things and I don't. And I was like, oh, isn't that interesting that you believe to not fit in with your family because you don't like those things? So, what she was telling me is like, I'm having a hard time connecting with my family in things that I enjoy because I don't enjoy the things they enjoy.
Oh,
She didn't feel safe. She didn't feel seen in, well, I mean, she didn't feel seen in who she was, but they tried to allow her the space to not do the athletic things. But then she's like, I also feel left behind.
oh wow.
Like, she's like, but I just don't want to do it. I'm like, fair, fair.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's what she's doing in that moment is she's creating a story because that's what the human brain does is it connects stories to our experiences. And so
Hmm.
she's now creating a story of like, oh, I'm not part of my family or oh, I'm not like my family and oh, connections are hard with my family. But yet if her parents had sat her down and had this conversation very bluntly, hey,
Yes.
we like to go skiing. We know you don't like to go skiing, and that's okay. We still love you. We are not going to
Hmm.
force you to go skiing. You're welcome to join us to go skiing. Awesome. If you don't want to come, we will miss you, but you are absolutely welcome. And then followed it up with, but we still want to do something with you. So if you don't want to do skiing, will you please like let us know how we can join you to do something fun together? So that there is still that opportunity for connection, right? It's acknowledging
Right.
the
Hmm.
disinterest while inviting
Yes,
an opportunity for other connection.
that's true. That's a good way to put it. If there's one thing that parents could do today to immediately start improving their connection with their kids, what would it be?
Slow down. You do not need to rush off to basketball practice. You do not need to sign your child up for violin lessons and Mandarin classes. Slow down and be with your kid. Your child wants to be with you more than you think they do. They are looking for opportunities to connect with you. When your child starts talking to you, stop doing the dishes and turn around and look them in the eye. When your child wants to talk to you a little longer before bed, take a deep breath and let them.
Mm,
Ask them, what do you want to talk about tonight? Give them that opportunity to share with you. Right before bedtime's a really magical time. But but in the simplest form, start a game night. Or find something that your family likes to do together. If it's not board games or card games, that's what our family likes to do. Maybe your
hmm.
family likes to do video games together. Totally fine too. Find something that doesn't have to cost a lot of money, doesn't
Right,
take a lot of upkeep, and doesn't always have to have a lot of supplies on hand. It can be as simple as mandatory Sunday breakfast brunch in your house. Like maybe everybody comes together and cooks together and you prepare the meal and you sit down and enjoy it together. These connection moments with kids don't have to be hard.
right,
Invite them into your regular day. Do you know there's a lot of kids that don't even go with their parents to the grocery store anymore? We have so many people that get it delivered. I mean, don't get me wrong.
right.
I love a grocery delivery, but it's also really, really good to go to the grocery store with your child and give them the opportunity. Well, what would you like to eat this week? Well, why don't you go pick out a fruit for our family? Why don't you go, why don't you pick out the meat that we're going to eat one night this week? Give them those opportunities to connect with you and you'll learn something. Oh, yeah, you really like green beans. You pick them out every time we come.
Mm.
Also, I hear these days the grocery store tunes are pretty jamming.
Oh my, you dropped some really good gems. Oh my goodness. And how long have you been doing the parent coaching?
6 years. Yep. But I've been working, in education for over 25. So I feel like I've been working with families doing this before I knew I was doing it for a long time.
Oh my goodness. And are you still a teacher?
I still work at a school. I don't work in a self-contained classroom anymore. I run an after-school program. So it's my
Nice.
favorite thing to do because I say I'm in charge of play. And that's what I think more kids need these days.
Oh, but for my listeners, if they want to learn more about your work and what you do, how can they find you?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, like who
Okay.
isn't, right?
Mhm.
Kristin.schmoke.parenting. I
Mhm.
have a website that's www.kristinschmoke.com. I always say the hardest part is spelling my name. So, and I have a freebie for anybody who joins or comes to my Instagram account. There's obviously a link in bio, but there's a freebie there that's called "Who's Taking Care of Mama," and it doesn't have to be a mom. It can be a dad, really a human of any sorts. But it goes through the steps to show you how to start taking care of yourself in the little moments of the day that don't cost anything. And
Mhm.
it really empowers you and actually energizes you so that you can be the best parent that you want to be.
Oh, that's nice. That's lovely. Do you have any final thoughts for my guest today?
Um, Connecting with your kids is a lot easier than you are making it to be. You're you're making it out to be something really hard. And
Hmm.
if you take that moment to just breathe and close your eyes and connect with you before you go in to connect with your kids, it goes a lot easier. But if you come in with a really rushed energy, it's actually going to repel them because they're going to sense that you want something. But if you actually
Right.
come in with the energy of curiosity and slow, it offers a lot more space for them to open up and feel safe.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
I
me.
thank you so much for sharing your expertise and just your knowledge. It was nice meeting you, nice hearing, I just enjoyed it.
Same.
And
Great. Thank you.
I hope my guests can get some good information from this.
I
You
hope
guys
so.
have her information. Please reach out to her and LinkedIn. She has a website and Instagram.
Yeah. I'm just so grateful for being here. Thank you so much, Marla. I
Oh, not a problem at all. If you don't have any, do you have anything else you'd like to share before we wrap things up? Or
think that's it.
okay. Well, before we leave, I like to leave my listeners with my motto: when you see the need, plant the seed.
I love that. That's
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you. Well, I hope you have a great evening, and I'll be in touch with you.
Thank you. This was great. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. Have a good night, okay?
Take care.
You too. Bye.